We are 5 days away from fundamentally transforming the United States of America.
Iraq knows that we are going to have to make sacrifices. We are going to have to change our conversation. We're going to have to change our traditions, our history. We're going to have to move into a different place as a nation.
Allowing the Bush tax cuts to expire would essentially be tax increase.
Well, it isn't a tax increase. It is eliminating a tax decrease that was there.
Everybody knows that it makes no sense that you send a kid to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs you gave them treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer or an inhalator, not a breathalyzer. I haven't had much sleep in the last 48 hours, so.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
What they'll say is, well, it costs too much money. But you know what? It would cost about the same as what we would spend over the course of 10 years. It would cost what it would cost us.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
All right. Okay. We're going to. It would cost us about the same as it would cost for about, hold on one second, I can't hear myself.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it.
But I'm glad you're fired up, though. I'm glad.
So, Las Vegas, I want to know, are you fired up? Ready to go? 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 Let's go change the world. Thank you, everyone.
Peggy Joseph took her daughter out of school early Wednesday for this. Her emotions ran high following Obama's speech.
It was the most memorable time of my life. It was a touching moment because I never thought this day would ever happen. I won't have to worry about putting gas in my car. I won't have to worry about paying my mortgage. You know, if I help him, he's going to help me.
Why are you here?
To get some money.
What kind of money?
Obama money.
Where's it coming from?
Obama.
And where did Obama get it?
I don't know, his stash. I don't know. I don't know where he got it from. But he giving it to us to help us. We love him. We love him. That's why we voted for him. Obama.
Yeah. There you go. Well, can you explain to me what the Cloward Piven strategy is?
ACORN was created in order to implement the Cloward Piven strategy. And the Cloward Piven strategy is to overwhelm the government with demands for services.
Let's step back a little bit.
And then the government sort of collapses, and in the chaos, a new socialist state is formed.
So that's what the Cloward Piven strategy is.
And that's why ACORN was founded. And Obama was a trainer of the trainers for ACORN. And also a lawyer for ACORN. And now he's implementing this strategy as president from the White House.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
And guess what this liberal would be all about? This liberal will be all about socializing, would be about basically taking over and the government running all of your companies.
I brought up the subject of what's going to happen after we take over the government. we become responsible then for administrating 250 million people. And there was no answers. No one had given any thought to economics. How are you going to clothe and feed these people? The only thing that I could get was that they expected that the Cubans and the North Vietnamese and the Chinese and the Russians would all want to occupy different portions of the United States. They also believed that their immediate responsibility would be to protect against what they called the counter-revolution. And they felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest, where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I ask, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are die-hard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill 25 million people. I want you to imagine sitting in a room with 25 people, most of which have graduate degrees from Columbia and other well-known educational centers, and hear them figuring out the logistics for the elimination of 25 million people. And they were dead serious.
One of the things that has happened, I think, too often to progressives is that we don't understand the relationship between minimum goals and maximum goals. Right after Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, if the civil rights leaders had jumped out and said, okay, now we want reparations for slavery, we want redistribution of all wealth, and we want to legalize mixed marriages, if that had been they had come out with a maximum program the very next day, they'd have been laughed at. Instead, they came out with a very minimum program. We just want to integrate these buses. The students a few years later came out with a very minimum program. We just want to sit at the lunch counter. But inside that minimum demand was a very radical kernel that eventually meant that from 1954 to 1968, complete revolution was on the table for this country. And I think that this green movement has to pursue those same steps and stages. Right now we're saying we want to move from suicidal gray capitalism to some kind of eco-capitalism where, at least we're not, fast-tracking the destruction of the whole planet. Will that be enough? No, it won't be enough. We want to go beyond systems of exploitation and oppression altogether, but that's a process. And I think what's great about the movement that's beginning to emerge is that the crisis is so severe in terms of joblessness, violence, and now ecological threats that people are willing to be both very pragmatic and very visionary. And so the green economy will start off as a small subset, and we're going to push it and push it and push it until it becomes the engine for transforming the whole society.
My guest has been Van Jones, founder and president of Green for
I don't know how
All.
many of you guys know Van Jones. Van Jones is... Ooh.
This is his house, apparently.
Van Jones, all right. So, Van Jones, we were so delighted to be able to recruit him into the White House. We've been watching him really for, he's not that old, but for as long as he's been active out in Oakland and all of the ways that he has, the creative ideas that he has. And so now we have captured that, and we have all of that energy and enthusiasm in the White House. So
Complete revolution was on the table for this country. And I think that this green movement has to pursue those same steps and stages.
You really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order, financial world order. So I think you need a new world order that China has to be part of the process of creating it.